So let's try to write a program to guess the number. So the logic of program is something like this. A number will be randomly generated by the system, and we are asking the number to guess a number within a given range. If the user is not entering the number correctly, we will try to give clues that it is the value entered by the user is less or it is more than the actual number, and we'll also give number of attempts. So within these attempts the user has to guess the number. If he guesses the number correctly, then we give a success message that it has been unsuccessful attempt, and we'll also tell what was the actual number generated. So let's start writing the program. So let's first try to randomly generate the number. So in order to randomly generate the number, we use a function randint, which is part of the random module. So import the random module, and let's call the randint function. So random dot randint function, where we will be let's say we are generating the number randomly between 1 to 15, and the randomly generated number we will assign it to a variable, let's say secret number. So secret number is going to contain the randomly generated number. Now let's write the code for guessing the number. Let's say ask the user to guess the number. So try to give meaningful comments to your code to make your code more readable. So we are now asking the user to guess the number within a given number of attempts. So for that, let's say I want to give some 6 attempts. So we have to use a for loop. So the number of attempts, let me store it in a variable called as is guesses taken in, we'll call the range function. So we will give the number of attempts for 6, so that means 1 to 7. So let's give a useful message to the user saying that please guess a number. We will also help him by giving some useful within from 1 to 15. Now let's give a prompt to guess the number. So take the input from the user. We need to take the input from the user. So for that we are using the input function. Input function gives a prompt to the user to input a value. Now the value we want is a number, so it's very important to do typecasting, otherwise it will give you an error. And the value which is entered by the user, let's give it to a variable called as guess. So guess is equal to int input. Now let's start doing the comparison. If the value entered by the user, is it less than the randomly generated number, or is it greater than the randomly generated number, or is it equal to? So we need to have some if conditions. If by the number guessed by the user is greater than the number generated by the system, give a message, print the number guessed is too high. So similarly, now we will do the next condition. We will do elif the reverse, guess is less than the secret number. We will give the message the number guessed is too low. Now we just have one more condition only, that would be guess is equal to secret number. That's the only option, so you do not need to specify, just give else. Now we are not going to print here the number is guessed, because we will handle this outside the for loop for 2 reasons. So first, let's try to come out of the for loop. We'll come out of the for loop. So definitely if the number is guessed correctly within the 6 attempts, it will come out of the for loop now. So now outside the for loop, we will take care of this. Why we are doing this is because there can be 2 ways. Either we will be out of the for loop because the number is guessed correctly within the number of attempts, or we can be it comes out of the for loop because the number of guesses has been exceeded 6. So there can be 2 cases. So that's why we are giving an if condition here. If the number is guessed, we can just do that. If guess is equal to we can also do this. If guess is equal to secret number, give a message saying that print good, the number has been guessed in. So how many attempts we took to guess the number? So for that we are using a string concatenation operator. So the number of guesses would be stored in this guesses taken variable. Since this is a integer, we have to do typecasting to string. One more, concatenation attempts. So suppose the number of guesses taken has a value 4. So it will say good, number has been guessed in 4 attempts. Else you print that no, the number I was thinking was. So where was the actual number? That would be in this secret number. So concatenate it with this string concatenate str, the number I was thinking was this. So let's try to save this program. Now try to run this program. Okay, so it's asking please guess a number from 1 to 15. Let's say I say 13. So it is saying the number guess is too high. So let's give something less than 15. Let's say I give 9. So it's saying it is too high again. Let's give less than that 5. It is still too high. Let's give 3. It's too low, so that means it has to be 4. So yes, the number has been guessed in 5 attempts. See, there is no space here. What you can do is just give a space here. It works. So let's try it again. Let's try to check whether this print can also work, whether when it's an unsuccessful attempt, what is the message it is displaying. So in order to do unsuccessful attempt, I'll purposely try to give a number more than 15 so that I cross all the 6 attempts. See, after 6 attempts it is saying no, the number I was thinking was 13. Here also there is no space, so just give a space here. So like this, please try to understand the logic of the program correctly and try to do your program as much as possible and try to execute it as much as possible in the editor, because that way you get a more hands-on and more practical approach of learning the program. Thank you.